All right, good morning. Should be on. We look good. All righty. Ready for more sword? Morning. Thanks for joining me. Um, let's make sure my volume's. Wait. Alrighty. I feel like we've been progressing a lot more. And I appreciate you guys always joining me and practicing sword. Hopefully, you have a nice area to practice into when you're watching these. The adventure or the the new thing for me is really training in a small area with a bigger with a longer sword. I usually would practice with a shorter stick, but the the main thing, the cold water. That's why you want to drink the hot tea. Okay, see, oh, big difference. That's a good example of cold and hot. The water was cold, my tea was hot, and it opened up the throat. Okay, so again, the main thing is if you was practicing a small area, you can always use a shorter stick. And if you have a taller ceiling, that can really make a difference. If the ceiling's high, you can practice in a small area. My place before this, I would if I had practiced inside, I don't know, it's way smaller, like a hallway small, in the sense where I need to stand up and I could practice with the short stick or the staff and I'll be fine, yeah. So the up ahead of you matters because when you swing and something needs to come up or down, that's where it can really matter on your space. Sword and swinging, you can always kind of pivot where you are, and you can really wrap around the body a lot different. Okay, so I can have your main space around you is a small circle. So if I can play here and I don't know what's around me or I just been practicing a lot so I can kind of play here. And not even the sword is not out and the sword is the extension of yourself that goes out. So imagine if you play this and then the sword comes out, then your circle expands all the way out. So if I'm in a smaller area, my sword needs to be in and close. So I still can play, but I can be in this area. Yeah. The difference is once I start to bring it out towards my smaller inner circle, that's where it expands out. And if I'm on a smaller area, I'll be tapping things. So when you practice, I'm telling you this from the experience. So once I do something, even if I bring it in and I'm holding like this, I'll be fine. But if I go and I expand a little bit more, see how my sword comes out? I could touch that anything around me, yeah? Especially the ceiling fan. I'm used to do that a lot, yeah. Okay. So probably gonna have a lot of extra light bulbs hanging around just in case. So again, always be uh, aware of your surroundings, and that's the key thing with anything. The more you get aware of your surroundings and what's around you, it's like you're heightening your senses for anything. So if you see things that could be in the way or hurt you or something on the ground that can poke you, then you're aware of more things. Okay. So again, heighten your senses. Okay. So when as we play with the sword, we're trying to heighten our our range. Okay. Our um, what can we expand farther out? Okay. So if my hand's out like this, my sword follows, so it expands out. Okay. We're so used to our own self, you know what I mean? So when we turn or walk places, even walking up the stairs, if it's your own house and there's only two steps in the house or something, you don't you don't naturally look down at the steps anymore. You just know it's there and you might walk down and up like nothing, yeah. Or even a lot of stairs at your own place, yeah. I don't stare at the stair. You kind of just know and you even stop and walk straight wherever it flattens out and then you go back down, yeah, or up to you. Okay, so we're trying to get our sword or whatever we're practicing with to expand out and be part of us too. Okay, certain moves I'm more comfortable because I practice it a lot more, so it feels natural. Yeah, I feel it wrapping around me. Yeah, so even this kind of movement, I feel it close and it feels normal. Okay, the movements that I don't get to practice as much or certain techniques feel a little bit different. So any technique you practice with your form or doesn't feel comfortable, that's the one you want to pick out and practice a lot more. Okay. So again, as if you end up finding me now, I'm Kalani, and Sunday Sword is about sword. Okay. Eventually, you might move on to different types of sword. The Tai Chi sword is going to be uh, the one that you probably learning the longest for sure. So we'll come back, revisit things. Because the double edge makes it, I guess they would say, a lifetime to really learn more. So that's, in a way, that's a good thing. So you won't get bored of the sword. Okay, we can learn forms. I have different sets and different styles to share too. So we can see it picking out certain techniques a lot more. Some might favor the flowing and rolling, yeah, especially the udon. It really likes to slice and cut. Yeah. The Tai Chi is a mixture of cutting and thrusting, but the main one you really see will see the pointing and the coming out because of the disarming. Tai Chi likes to is doing its best to cut for the wrist. It's not really meant for it. It doesn't want to kill. Yeah, it's not for killing. Yeah, so it's really going for the disarm. Okay, if the person has a sword, a stick, something in their hand, a weapon, you take out the weapon. You're disarming it. Yeah, trying to reduce the threat. Yeah, so that's where the form itself starts to come in. Okay, but a lot of us are just learning for the health benefits. Yeah, Tai Chi with the sword brings a lot of balance, and the sword is really focusing like a mindset. Okay, so when we cut or chop, the sword is there. We can do this. Okay, when you feel the right mindset, and then you start to feel it, and then you can do it. But the sword, I do find, even at a beginning stage, even if you didn't do a Tai Chi set yet, you can learn the sword because it gives you a good visual and you're familiar with that visual of chopping. Okay, even if you didn't do the sword, you've seen enough movies or have an idea of what's happening with the sword. If I go like this, you understand it's cutting. If I chop you, that's your main basics. After you're getting familiar with the techniques of what's happening when we turn it different. Yeah? Okay. What happens with the blade and what happens with when we're using the flat side. Okay. Even when we're just turning it over from outside, might not look like that much, might be just turning the sword over. But you know our techniques now. We're covering. Yeah. You could be pressing. Yeah. You can feel that downwards. So it's like okay. Before we actually boom and then you might strike. Okay. The form we've been practicing is a nice set with indoors. It shows a lot. If you was with me with the light wires, you actually see the next form with the 12 steps. This one is 10. Okay. But you can see the similar part and the difference, even if it's real subtle. Okay. Whew. So again, I can't um, stress how much the regular basics make a difference. Okay. And especially with the Tai Chi sword of you're gonna see this technique so much more. The boom. Okay. So if you're always practicing, you can use the two hands and the one hand, then you can extend, extend. So a good way to practice a lot of your techniques since you've been doing it for a while, right? Is to start to have a you're centered and then we can use the four corners of the room. Okay. So what I mean by that is I'm here. I'm gonna face your first corner on your right side and say like we use our point. Boom. Okay. And then we use our other side on your left side to point the other way to the corner. Okay. So that's our two corners in the front. Right, left. Okay. So you can do that. You can go left, your other side. Okay? Doesn't matter the if it's left or right. The main thing is you're practicing, okay, on each side. So you can go high, you can go low. Okay. So now you're getting your basic, but now you're getting the angle. Now when you do it, you can um, reach out, boom, okay, and then reach out, boom. So you're extending the sword forward, and then so again forward, boom, and then boom. Okay. Now after we do that, so select we do this 10 times. Okay. And then we start to move forward. Okay. You can go slow. And then at the end, the last two, you can kind of bring it out. But play with the speed. Don't go fast all the way. Yeah. The first things first is go slow to feel the movement. And then at the end, you can do two quick ones just to feel how it comes out. If it feels uncomfortable or unstable, then you can go slow. Okay. So now we did the four. Now we're gonna like you're gonna retreat in a way is I'm leaning towards my side and then extend. So you see how my angle, I'm dodging and extending. So I'm moving out of the way, right? Extend out. Same thing with the other side. Boom, boom. So go nice and slow. So this is where you're gonna start getting you notice I always put sword fitness. This is where your fitness is gonna start coming out a lot more too because you're gonna see Your whole body starts to move. Yeah. Okay. So we got that. Make sense? Yeah. And then you can apply this to the other techniques, but well, since we're on the point, on the point, okay, you can use this for the thrust. The thrust. Okay. So that's my forward and my forward. And remember to always bring back to your center. Now we move to our side, retreat. Okay. Or should I say dodge? Okay. See the difference? Okay. Now you might think, oh, didn't I say the four corners? Alrighty. So since we're on our thrust, one, two. Okay. There's different ways of practicing this. We can stay in a straight or wherever we planted ourselves. We're gonna turn and shoot. Bring it back. Turn and shoot. Okay. So that's our thrusting. Four, four, okay, four, and then when you bring it, notice how you're gonna turn your sword. So it depends. It's different techniques within. We'll add that later. But for now, just bring it, boom, and four. Okay. So we're always trying to sink our sword first, so we can have a nice center here. Yeah. Okay. Now let's do our lean. Okay. So four, other side, four. Okay. Again, if you're doing your left and right and I'm doing different opposite, it's okay. Long as you're going to the different opposite corner. Okay. And then four. Boom. In. Four. Okay. And it doesn't have to be in that order, so you can mix it up. Okay. Now let's do our point. Four. Four. Okay. Turn. Four. So we're just getting used to um I should say spotting. So if you have something on the wall, then that's your spot. That's your point. Boom. Okay. Lean back. Boom. Boom. Okay. Boom. And then boom. Okay. So now you're expanding your technique. So you're not gonna be. That's one thing a form hard to get out across because if you just jump in the form and you don't practice any techniques on the side. So say like I do my form and then okay. So it's your body is locked into just that form. And what I mean by that is if you don't practice your basics outside and then you're only in that combination of how the form works. But when you practice with our drills, now you're getting all your different angles and then you're expanding your awareness of doing the technique at different angles. Okay. Alrighty. So we've been learning, we did our thrust, four, thrust. Okay. So we're learning to spot and we're playing with expanding our techniques. Point, 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 point. Okay. So notice the difference. And just because you might not look like me, if you get the sword where it's supposed to be and you're at your point, then that's good. Okay. That's the first step. You're you have to be aware that as me teaching, I'm have to be aware of each person is different, taller, smaller. Um, Sometimes the leg um, conditions are different, or your arm condition is different. Yeah. So if you feel a little bit more you need to work out or stretch more, then you need to focus on that point. But does not stop you guys now. Okay. You just be more aware of it so you can adapt. And that's the main key. Okay. And if when you adapt, that makes you that warrior. Okay. Let me get more little hot tea. Today's flavor. If you're interested. Hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. So 4 corners. Okay. I definitely know you're in a room unless you somehow have a nice round area, but the main part is a point. Okay. And this is one way of adding to your techniques, the 4 corners. Okay. And I mean the 4 corners of striking. Okay. There's 4 corners that I mentioned before is the if you hear the 4 corners of defense. So this side, bottom, waist down. Okay. I won't jump into that. We're focusing on the 4 corners of your technique. Okay. So we do a thrust forward and we did the thrust of sitting back or lean, yeah. Okay. Let me find the right uh expiration need to explain down a little bit better with the there we go with the stance. Okay. Because it comes down to the I'm sorry. Alright. Okay, everybody okay. Okay, Robin. Okay. That was twice during 1 week. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay. Double sorry. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. I know I'm trying to make it forward, but let's not go too much down. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to find a wireless speaker or something. Or the plug in. Okay. There we go. Nice and happy. Y'all can see. Let's not touch anything. Alright. Gentle. Okay. Alright. Back again. Collateral. Forward and our back in retreat. Okay. Yes. So again, depends on the intention it that's what really changes this. Because I could be moving and then shoot. I can be retreating, which has a different feel because I might be see the bend and then you're coming up and see the open spot. Or I might be just stepping in. Wow. Okay. So right now we're just getting our forward and our lean. Okay. So we got a thrust and a point. Okay. And hopefully you can see the difference with the thrust and the point. Okay. Once we get that, we can expand it out. And what I mean is you can add the foot to adjust. So say like you was having a hard time to turn. Okay. So let's do a basic rate. So my right foot forward and I can shoot. Okay. And then I can shoot with my other leg. Um it really if you can do both legs, it's always good to practice one side first and other side. Um you never want to be locked into think going the right goes forward with the right foot. Because things happen and then it just whatever comes out needs to be a lot quicker. Okay. Maybe the something's coming at the leg, other legs I have to move it or anything. So again, You can one side. Okay, notice how I'm stepping forward now, yeah. So shoom. Okay. And then when I step back, what I can do to help if I'm having a hard time just doing the regular turn, I'm going to pivot a little bit and let my legs step forward. So I'm saying like I'm doing back. I'm going to step forward and then shoot. Okay. So the stepping back is the retreat. Okay. And if I need to step forward, I'll turn. And if I need to reach, I can step forward. Okay. Now, I probably recommend doing only the back first because we're practicing indoor. So if, because forward you can see a lot better. Back you might need to turn a lot quicker. So I retreat and then shoot. Okay. So like I am this way. I'm in the back of the room. So now I don't want to shoot forward. Okay. So I might just come out, come out. Okay. And then this is my back, right? Okay. And then my back. Boom. Okay. Same thing with the point, 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 and then point. Okay. So whew, sometimes the most simplest things can feel, you start sharing and there's a lot more layers because I might uh, there's a lot more with the subtleness of your stance. Okay. So you might notice me sometimes I just slightly has that slide. I don't even think about this anymore. So I just realize it doing that so much that uh, becomes part of you. So this kind of movement is that slide and the little subtleness is in there, yeah, so that can make the huge difference in the distance. Okay. But please think one thing to take away from all this right now, okay, and practice is the four corners. Okay. And then you can start mixing it up, but I'll just say keep your thrust forward and back. Forward and back. Okay. Forward or back. Forward and boom. Yeah, same thing with this. Alrighty. That's what's hopefully I didn't drop too much information on you. Probably had some people disappear for that. Like, whoa. Oh yeah. Okay. You can take. Sorry if you can hear that. Yeah, thank you so much for your patience, even if it does. The surface drop down. You can take the two techniques, practice those two techniques first. If it starts really getting comfortable and you're really getting used to it, then you can expand all the other techniques you learn and try practicing your four corners. I'll bring up some is really perfect for it, and then I'll show you different ways to apply these techniques. Okay, we're trying to get awareness on different angles, so make sure to have a spot, pick something on the wall. That's your point. You can always have something there, or you can put something on the wall or something that this is red that just stands out. So that's your point. Have one um kind of like eye level, and then have one low, so you can have two spots there. Yeah, that's one thing that can really help. So we're learning spotting too. Yeah, boom, boom. So if it happen to turn, okay. Of course, we're always practicing slow. We can see once you go to the next level, we're getting our eyes to focus so and our getting to yourself to get to focus and doing the bullseye. So if you turn, you don't have to turn super quick, but if I turn and I say I want to point at the my my tiger lion, boom, I just go there, yeah. Okay, if I can put on my tutorial up there, that's my cat, boom, up, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna find something a lot painting there, boom, and then down. To have two, yeah, one and two. Okay, so another way after you do get comfortable, one, one, okay, point, that's your down. Okay. Then you add the one and two. Okay. Only when you feel comfortable doing one. So one and two. So select a retreat. One, two. Okay. So feel the difference of going forward and then pull back and then retreat. Okay. So you're having a double combination now. Okay. So sorry about that. Wow. Go forward and then point. Okay. Bring it back. Forward and then point. Okay. Forward, point, bring it to the other side. Forward and point. Okay. I give you that bonus there for that little incident earlier. Okay. So again, forward, and then when you retreat, see how you're going like this, and it's like pulling back, and then you're seeing something happening. You're gonna retreat, so you're gonna go back, like out of the way, so dodge, and then point. Boom. So forward and point. Okay. Always keep your hand close in or here. Boom, boom, okay, boom, and point. And then four, other side, four, and point. Okay, four, and point. Four, and point. Okay, it can reverse to point, forward, yeah, back, okay, point, and forward, or sorry, point and forward, back, and thrust. Okay, okay, that should keep you busy a lot. Again, let me know. I feel like two techniques really can focus in there. Um, you can do more, but I don't want to lose you too much. And what can really make the difference is there's that layer underneath, especially with that footwork. Okay, and that slightness of that lean and movement can really make the difference. Okay, bring it in, centering out towards the heart, all the way up and center. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And you joining me for a Sunday. Come back, we'll learn more. We'll do more techniques for you and explain the maybe more, little more with the four corners. This can really help with the um, putting everything out. Yeah, it's not just the expanding; it's the awareness and the spotting, the focus points. So make sure you have those 2 points forward and down. Okay. Net, thank you. Stay safe. You too, Net. Thank you so much. And everybody stay safe. Careful. My heart. Yes, good energy. See you guys. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you guys.